that is progressions, and we will be talking about two progressions in this unit: arithmetic progression and geometric progression. And this is something that you must have already learned in your school level. So we will start with arithmetic progression first, and then we will go to geometric progression. Now, what is an arithmetic progression? It is a sequence of numbers such that the difference of any two consecutive terms is the same. So here we are talking about a sequence of numbers, okay, such that the difference of any two consecutive terms is the same. Let's say, for example, okay, this is a sequence of numbers here, okay, and this is an example of an arithmetic progression, because if you look at the difference of any two consecutive terms, okay, like 3 and 5 minus 3 is 2. The same way, 5 and 7 are two consecutive terms. 7 minus 5 is 2. 9 minus 7 is 2. 11 minus 9 is 2. So if you consider any two consecutive terms, okay, the difference here is the same, that is 2. So this we say is an arithmetic progression. The same, if you consider 2, 7, 12, 17. Okay. If you consider difference between any two consecutive terms, 2 and 7, okay, the difference is 5, 7 minus 2. The same way, 7 and 12, 12 minus 7 is 5, 17 minus 12 is 5, and so on. So this is an arithmetic progression wherein the difference between any two consecutive terms is 5. This is also an example of an arithmetic progression. Okay. The same way, I have 10, 6, 2 minus 2 minus 6. Now, is this an arithmetic progression? So look at consecutive terms. 6 minus 10, okay, it is minus 4. 2 minus 6 is minus 4. Minus 2 is also minus 4. And minus 2 minus minus 2, okay, minus 6 minus minus 2 is minus 6 plus 2, that is equal to minus 4. Okay. The same way, this minus 2 minus the previous term, that is 2, is also minus 4. So the difference between any two consecutive terms here is remaining the same. The difference here is minus 4. This is also an arithmetic progression. So basically we have a sequence of numbers here wherein the difference between any two consecutive terms is the same. So the next term in the sequence can be obtained by adding a fixed number to the previous term. Okay, so like how I said, here in the case of the first arithmetic progression, the difference was 2. Okay, we denote difference as D. So if I have to find out the next term, okay, after 11, which term will come? That will be 11 plus this difference, that is 2, that is equal to 13. Next term will be 13 plus 2, 15, and so on. Now, why do we learn progressions? Is because now the definition itself, okay, we are talking about a sequence of numbers which follows a regular period. Okay, so it provides a mathematical representation, okay, of things that have a regular period of occurrence. Okay, because we are talking about a common difference, so something that is happening periodically, okay, with the same difference. Okay. So usually movement, motions, that is time dependent, growth, okay, most of the processes that are time dependent are usually represented by arithmetic progression, which has a regular period of occurrence. They are also useful in determining patterns in natural processes. Okay. They are also used in calculating the sum of a series, which is very important when you go for your higher studies, and especially in research, wherein most of the things usually talk about the sum of a series, and this is also a concept that is involved there. It is widely used in financial sector, just in case suppose you want to find out a future value, okay, so of some investment, or how much investments periodically are required to collect a certain amount. Okay, this is something that can be calculated by an arithmetic progression. Of course, these are very simple examples, but these are instances where arithmetic progressions will be used. Okay, so how do we write the general form of an arithmetic progression? Like in case this is one arithmetic progression that I had considered here. Okay. So if you see, this is the first term, that is 3. Okay, and the difference between any two consecutive terms here is 2. So if all that I have to know is only the first term of the arithmetic progression and what is the common difference between the consecutive terms. Once I know that, I can very well generate, okay, each of this term in the arithmetic progression. What will be the next term? You have to just add to this previous term the common difference. You will get 3 plus 2, that is 5. The next term, so once you get 5 here, to the next term, to get the next term you have to again add 2 to this, the common difference. You will get 7. The next term will be 7 plus 2 and so on. So what you're basically doing is, if you take A as your first term and D as the common difference, you start with A, the first term. To get the next term, what will you do is, you will add this common difference to this term. So you will say A plus D. The next term will be, again, to get the next term, again you will add D to this term. So you get A plus D, which will be A plus 2D. Okay. Next term will be, again you add difference to this. You will get A plus 3D. Next term, it will be again A plus to this A plus 3D, again you add D, you will get A plus 2D, A plus 4D and so on. So this is how you can generate this arithmetic progression. Okay, so the first term A and the common difference D determines the arithmetic progression. Okay, if A is the first term of the arithmetic progression and D is the common difference, then the arithmetic progression can be written as A plus D, A plus 2D and so on. Okay, so this is the first term. This here is the second term. This here is the third term. Okay, this here is the fourth term and so on. Okay, now if you see here, when it is fourth term, when I am writing fourth term here, it is 3 here. When it is third term, it is 2. When it is second term, it is 1. And when it is first term, here it is, in a way, the coefficient of D is 0. So if I have to write down the nth term, how will you write it? It will be A plus, when it is 4, it is 3 here, which is 4 minus 1. When it is the third term, it is 2, that is 3 minus 1. When it is the second term here, it is 1, 2 minus 1. So if you have to write down the nth term, it will be n minus 1 into t. Okay, so this is going to be your nth term, and that is how we are going to write down the nth term of an arithmetic progression. Okay, so if this is my general form, A plus D, A plus 2D, A plus 3D and so on, this is my nth term. Okay, the nth term of an arithmetic progression, it is given by, so we say Tn to denote nth term. Okay, so if I have to say n minus 1th term, I'll say Tn minus 1. If I have to say n plus 1th term, I'll say Tn plus 1. So nth term Tn, we wrote it as A plus n minus 1 into D. So this is our n plus 1th term. Okay, this is our n minus 1th term and so on. Okay, let's say for example, I have this arithmetic progression. Okay, now what is the first term here? It is 3 and the common difference here is 2. So if I have to write down the nth term here, nth term is equal to A, that is 3 plus n minus 1 into D. D here is 2. Okay, so you may simplify if you wanted. It is 3 plus 2 into n minus 1 into 2 is minus 2. So you have 3 minus 2 is 1 plus 2n. So the nth term of this arithmetic progression can be written in general as Tn equal to 1 plus 2n. The same way, if you take this as arithmetic progression, here A is equal to 2. And what was the common difference? It was 5. 7 minus 2, 12 minus 7 and so on. So if I have to write down the nth term of this arithmetic progression, it is a, that is 2 plus n minus 1 into d here was 5. So it is 2 plus 5n minus 5. 2 minus 5 is minus 3. So I can say 5n minus 3. So the nth term of this arithmetic progression can be written as 5n minus 3. And how is this writing this nth term is going to be useful to us? Like suppose if I want to find out what is the 20th term in this arithmetic progression, all that I have to do is just put n equal to 20. Okay, so the 20th term will be 5 into 20 minus 3. 5 into 20 is 100, 100 minus 3 is 97. We can say that the 20th term in this arithmetic progression is 97. The same way, if you consider this, a is equal to 10 and d was minus 4. So the nth term is equal to 10 plus n minus 1 into minus 4. So it is 10 into minus 4 into n minus 4n minus 1 into minus 4 is plus 4. So what you get is 10 plus 4 is 14, 14 minus 4n. So this you can say is the nth term of this arithmetic progression. So if you want to find out a particular term, if you want to find out the 10th term of this, you have to put n equal to 10. So t10, that is the 10th term, will be 14 minus 4 into 10. That will be 14 minus 40, that is going to be minus 26. Okay, so given an arithmetic progression like this in this form, you can always write down the nth term, and writing nth term will give you an idea of what are all the terms of arithmetic progression that we are talking about. So given a series like this, arithmetic progression in explicit form where all the terms are mentioned, we can always write down the nth term. And if I know what is the nth term, I can always generate the arithmetic progression that we are talking about. Let's say for example, suppose the nth term of the arithmetic progression is 4 plus n minus 1 into 3. If I want, I can simplify this and see, okay, this will be 4, okay, plus 3n minus 3, which is equal to 4 minus 3 is 1 plus 3n. Okay, in fact we already have it in the general form. This is in the form of a plus n minus 1 into d. Okay, so here a is equal to 4 and d is equal to 3. So the first term is 4 and the common difference is 3. So if I have to generate this arithmetic progression, I'll start with the first term, that is a. Next term is 4 plus 3, 7. What will be the next term? 7 plus 3, 10. Next term, 10 plus 3, 13, and so on. Let's say I have the nth term of an arithmetic progression like this. Okay, now this is, if I have to again look at this into the general form, this is a, this is n minus 1, okay, and this will be your d. Okay, so this is, so if I have to write this, rewrite this, I may write it as 1 plus n minus 1 into minus 3. So that this is a and this is your d. Okay, so a here is 1 and d here is minus 3. Okay, so if I have to write down the arithmetic progression explicit form, the first term is 1, the second term will be the common difference, add minus 3, 1 plus minus 3 is minus 2, add minus 3 to this, will get minus 5, next add minus 3 to this, will get minus 8, and so on. Okay, let us say the nth term of an arithmetic progression is 5n. Okay, so if you want to generate what is the arithmetic progression you are talking about, just go on putting the values of n. So if you put n equal to 1, you will get 5. If you put n equal to 2, you will get 5 into 2, that is 10. Put n equal to 3, 15. N equal to 4, 20, and so on. Okay, so this is an arithmetic progression whose first term is 5. Okay, and the common difference is also 5. Okay, I mean you may rewrite this into the general form and see. Okay, you want the term as n minus a, you want this in a plus n minus 1 into d. So you always want n minus 1 in the general form. Okay. What decides the arithmetic progression is a and b. Now you want 5n here. So what will you do? You will write 5 here. So that you will get 5 into n. But then there is minus 5 here. So to get rid of this minus 5, you will say 5 here. So this 5n can be written as 5 plus n minus 1 into 5. So this becomes your a and this becomes your d. Okay. So this is an arithmetic progression whose first term is 5 and the common difference is also 5 that we already seen. So if you know the nth term of the series or the arithmetic progression, you can very well write down the explicit form of the arithmetic progression. Now how do you determine whether a given sequence of numbers is an arithmetic progression or not? Okay, so depending on in which form it is. Now so we have already considered this. How did I determine whether this is an arithmetic progression or no? All that I have to do is look at the common difference, okay, between the consecutive terms. 5 minus 3, 2, 7 minus 5, 2, 9 minus 7, 2, 11 minus 9, 2, and that's how I said this is an arithmetic progression. Okay, the same way, is this an arithmetic progression? So what will I do? I'll look at the consecutive difference. 1 minus 1, 0, 1 minus 1, 0, 1 minus 1, 0, 1 minus 1, 0. So the difference here is 0. So it is an arithmetic progression whose common difference is 0 and the first term is 1. Now is this an arithmetic progression? So for that again I look at the consecutive terms and the difference. Minus 1, minus 1, minus 1, minus 1 is minus 2. That is between this and this. So difference between minus 1 and 1 is minus 2. The next term, I look at 1 minus minus 1. Now 1 minus minus 1. This is 1 plus 1, that is equal to 2. So difference here is 2. Difference here was minus 2. Difference between this and this is minus 2. Difference between this and this will be 2. Now here the difference is not remaining the same. So this is not an arithmetic progression. 10, 6, 2, minus 2, minus 6. In fact, this is a series that we already seen earlier. 6 minus 10 is minus 4. 2 minus 6 is minus 4. Minus 2, minus 2, minus 4. So this is also an arithmetic progression whose common difference is minus 4. Is this an arithmetic progression? 4 minus 2 is 2. 8 minus 4 is 4. 16 minus 8 is 8. And so on. So here the difference is not remaining the same. Okay, difference between first two consecutive terms is 2, second two consecutive terms is 4, and so on. So the difference is not remaining the same. So this is not an arithmetic progression. So that is how you will determine whether a sequence of numbers is an arithmetic progression or not. Now this was when the sequence of numbers was in explicit form. Now in case a sequence is given, it's in nth form, nth term. So the nth term of the sequence is given. We want to determine whether it is an arithmetic progression or not. Now what is the condition? For the sequence to be an arithmetic progression, the difference between any two consecutive terms should be same. So what will you do? Now the nth term is given to you, 3n plus 1. Okay, so if you look at the way we have written arithmetic progression as the first term, the second term, the third term, and so on. We have nth term, then we'll have n plus 1th term, and so on. So before tn it is tn minus 1, n minus 1th term. So you may look at tn and tn minus 1. If the difference between nth and n minus 1th term is constant, then it will be an arithmetic progression. So what we do is find out tn minus 1. How will you find tn minus 1? Okay, replace n by n minus 1. So it will be 3 into, so you are replacing n by n minus 1. So this n you will replace by n minus 1 and that plus 1 as it is. So this is equal to 3n minus 3 plus 1, which is 3n minus 2. So we have tn equal to 3n plus 1 and tn minus 1 as 3n minus 2. I look at their difference. So tn minus tn minus 1 is what is tn? 3n plus 1 minus tn minus 1 is 3n minus 2. So this is 3n plus 1 minus 3n minus into minus plus 2. Okay, so 3n and minus 3n will cancel. I'll get 1 minus 1 plus 2, that is equal to 3. So what we have is the difference between n and n minus 1 term. In general, for any n, it is equal to 3. Now this is a constant. Okay, because whatever n that you take here, it is equal to 3. When will you say this particular difference is not a constant? Well, sometimes n might remain. Suppose you consider nth term as n square plus 1. Okay, is this an arithmetic progression? Okay, so for that you look at n minus 1 term. Tn minus 1 will be n minus 1 square plus 1. So n minus 1 square is n square minus 2n plus 1. This plus 1 as it is. So I'll get n square minus 2n plus 2. Now if you look at tn minus 1, it will be n square plus 1, that is tn, minus, what is tn minus 1? It is this n square minus 2n plus 2. So I have n square plus 1 minus n square plus 2n minus 2. This n square will cancel. I have 2n here and 1 minus 2 is minus 1. Now look at this here. tn minus 1 is 2n minus 1. Is this a constant? No, because there is one n that is remaining here. So the value of this difference is going to depend on the value of n. If n will change, this difference is also going to change. So moment n is remaining here, this is going to vary depending on the value of n. So this is not a constant. Here there is no n remaining. Irrespective of what n you are talking about, the difference is always 3. It's a constant. Okay, so here, because the difference is constant, this is an arithmetic progression. It is an arithmetic progression. Whereas if you consider a sequence of numbers with tn as n square plus 1, if you take the difference between any two consecutive terms, it doesn't remain a constant. Okay, so this is not an arithmetic progression, whereas this was an arithmetic progression. And this is exactly how you are going to determine whether a sequence of number is arithmetic progression or not. What will you do? You look at tn into tn minus 1, and the difference between this, it should be constant, and that is exactly is going to be d. Okay.